And hello, everyone. I'm Dan Luce, and welcome to the Frontlines in the battle against the deep state, the cabal, the Illuminonkeys, and all those that wish to enslave all of humanity for their own selfish reasons. Well, we just finished a mock meeting for the California Assembly, or a faux meeting, an example of how to conduct a meeting. Now, it was only a 20-minute little exercise to show how we actually conduct the meetings, so people can have more answer some questions that people are saying, well, how do you do one? So this just gives you a taste of what it's like. Now, I must say that we closed that off, and we continued our meeting not as a California Assembly, but just as a way of talking about the different issues, and it was quite a lively conversation. We covered many topics: AI, blockchain, the standing of representatives in government, the Washington D.C. crowd against the people in the assemblies. So we were just having conversation. It was quite lively. So I basically put forth a motion towards the end to actually grab that, because it was recorded, and go ahead and I'll upload that back up to this YouTube channel again. So we will, because it was really a good conversation. I thought maybe everyone else could enjoy as well, and we can have that spark more of the conversation. Okay, so next on the list is, this program is brought to you by your donations. My PayPal link is down below. It is the way in which I'm able to survive during the worldwide lockdown and turning everything off. Has only been through the generous donations of the people. And I thank you all for everything you've done. And so that, again, I'm amazed at how generous people have been, and I appreciate anything you could do. This is kind of getting to my crunch time to pay off some bills, so anything you could do, small donations also are very helpful. Yeah, even the smallest amounts are helpful. Okay, that's it. So, well, let's get to some interesting news. So, I saw another speech today. Then Trump was landing with the airplane in the background, and where was he? Forgot where he was at. But because I got sidelined by Ruth Bader Ginsburg's announced demise. So my initial thought was, well, they finally announced it because she's been dead a while. Whether that's true or not, hard to say, but there's a lot of speculation that they just couldn't let her go. And reminiscent of, say, the George Bush's funeral, right, where it just happened to coincide with D5 of that year, when the 17 NES, the 17th letter of the alphabet posting site, where they were giving out these projections of the D5, December 5th, being when everything's going to be revealed. So what happens instead? All of Washington gets shut down for a funeral for George Bush, right? As though, and many speculated that he had already passed. Some say that he was already executed for his crimes against humanity, whatever that was. But that's when the funeral happened, and they rolled him out in order to basically use it as a playing card, right? When to do it. They had him on ice for a while. Who knows? It was 3 months, 5 months, 6 months, a year, and then delayed something from happening. Well, here's Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Now she's now reportedly she's passed. Now, was it that she passed before? I mean, she's had some very serious health problems. There was all of these images of her showing up in places that people looked at it and said, this is definitely a photoshopped image, and it definitely was. I'm not saying that that she wasn't alive at the time for certain, but the photoshopped images doesn't lend itself to basically proving that she's actually there. So now that they announce it, what is the purpose? What actually is happening at that point? So, well, let's bring up a couple of things here. Let me line up this. So there we go. There we go. That one. Delayed reaction.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt there. Let me go ahead and ask you, since I did here, your thoughts as we move forward. What are your concerns about the makeup of the court?
Well, there's no way that Trump and the Republicans are going to nominate anyone philosophically anywhere close to Ruth Bader Ginsburg, even though I think both Republicans and Democrats say they're in favor of women's rights. We're not going to get a feminist jurist on the court. We're going to get somebody who opposes women's right to choose. That's what Trump has said. And even though the last time around, when Obama had an appointment in the closing months of his presidency, the Republicans said, we should wait until the election, they're doing exactly the opposite now. So we are in for a big fight. I hope that the Democrats in the Senate have a backbone and they stand up and fight. Ruth Bader Ginsburg fought.
All right, everybody. President Donald Trump is.
So, what's actually happening right now? The first thing, ready to go. There's going to be a fight. The Republicans, they don't want women's rights. I don't know any Republican doesn't want women's rights. What does that have to do with things? So you're talking about the right only to whether or not you can abort a baby, right? So this is the conversation that is always really just about putting it in the hands of the woman. And number one, I've always been opposed to the idea that the men don't have any rights, right? The basis, cut that out of the equation, I think is a problem. If you are the father of the child, you should have say. Yeah, it's in your body, but something else went into your body to make so, and you chose to do that. Now, if it was a different scenario, that's also is a valid point if it was a rape or something along those lines. But, fathers have rights. So that's one problem I've had with that. But putting all of these hot button issues aside, what do they want to do is cause confusion. So releasing, the death at this point of Ruth Bader Ginsburg really highlights the point that there is going to be a fight. And there's going to be a reason to, number one, motivate the Democrat voters to get out and make a vote. Are they going to get out and vote for Biden? No. Why would anyone be motivated to get out and vote for Biden? But would they get out and vote so that they can have a replacement for Ruth Bader Ginsburg? Well, I'm sure a few will. Well, is it enough to make any kind of difference? No. But they're not going to stop at anything, right? All assets deployed at this point to make any kind of waves or commotion that are going into the election cycle, to make it contentious, to make it upsetting, to get people agitated, anything, so that the rioting and everything that will make more sense afterwards. So Republicans moving forward fast to basically put someone on the bench this month, right? Today, I want to point out, Trump just gave his nominee list. What was it? 5 days ago, of who he wants to put up for the Supreme Court and for judges. Did he know that they were going to play this card at this point? And he played his card ahead of time and said, "Oh yeah, well here's my list. Hey Joe Biden, tell me who do you want? Who's your list for Supreme Court nominee? Who's your list for judges? This is who I'm going to vote for. And so Trump is like put it front and center, and then Ruth passes away. God rest her soul. And no way to tell, other than to see the amount of commotion that's happening. Did she pass now? Did she pass before? But what it is about is they're immediately coming out and talking about, oh, Trump's a bad guy. He's not going to give us anyone to replace her. So we've got to get a Democrat in there. We've got to vote. That's why this is coming about right now. 100%. Okay, let me line up. Well, actually, let me continue with this one for a little bit. We'll continue this storyline here. It's right from where we left off.
Is reacting right now to the news about Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I'm going to take you there live now, right here on News Now.
She was an amazing woman. Whether you agreed or not, she was an amazing woman who led an amazing life. I'm actually sad to hear that. I am sad to hear that. Thank you very much.
Well, he had a little bit more to say. This is a Fox News that basically laying this out. So, interesting. Start it back up again. So this is the longer one. I'm just gonna see if I can change it a little bit. So here we go.
I didn't know that. I just you're telling me now for the first time. She led an amazing life. What else can you say? She was an amazing woman. Whether you agreed or not, she was an amazing woman who led an amazing life. I'm actually sad to hear that. I am sad to hear that. Thank you very much.
Well, it wasn't as long as I thought. I think there was another one I was listening to. It wasn't this one. All right. Well, we'll leave it at that for a moment. So this is really just my opinion. I think that they planned this and that she has passed prior, and this is just part of their narrative control. Everything to them is about presenting a movie, and it just wasn't her time to die. She didn't die on cue. So there, I said that letter. Die at the time point that they want to happen. So they just hold back on the information until it's ready. So I think that this is why it's come out. It's really just part of the election cycle, and this is their timing of it. So the question is now going to be: are they going to push through a new Supreme Court nominee right now? I think they probably are, but I don't think it would harm anything for them to wait. It's only, all the other confirmations went much longer, than this. But can they slow it down any? I don't know, but I think that we could see them push it through, and we'll see what happens. It may play a big part after the election, if there is like another, hanging Chad type of, well, the Supreme Court has to now rule on it, and you now have one more conservative judge on the bench to make that ruling. It may come into play. So I wouldn't put it. I wouldn't say it's out of the question, but I think that we probably are in a much better position than the mainstream media wants to let the world know. Trump is very confident in all of his speeches, and he had just finished a speech there, and it was also very good. All of his speeches are very, it's amazing how much he's doing in one day. Every day he's having a roundtable meeting with leaders on this topic or that topic, and then doing a rally or two rallies in a day. It's just nonstop, and he's just amazing. and compared to what Biden is doing, and even Biden, has referred to his campaign if they elect him that it would be the Harris-Biden presidency. He said Harris-Biden because it's obviously what it would be, right? It's like, how do you slip one in the back door, right? You have Joe out front taking all the flack while you slip Kamala Harris in. And then Joe steps down afterwards, and who comes in as vice president after that, who knows? Michael Obama or Hillary? Who knows? I did say Michael on purpose, but okay. So let's roll over here for a moment. This is something else I thought was interesting. This is on Fox. Fox is not the friend to the people. It's has some good commentators on there, but the reality is that they were also migrating away, and they're not a friend of Trump or us. But here, let's take a look. This is Gingrich on this program.
Right, Speaker Gingrich, I know you have a final thought for us.
Yeah, look, the number one problem in almost all these cities is George Soros elected left-wing, anti-police, pro-criminal district attorneys who refuse to keep people locked up. Just yesterday, they put somebody back on the street who's wanted for 2 different murders in New York City. You cannot solve this problem, and both Harris and Biden have talked very proudly about what they call progressive district attorneys. Progressive district attorneys are anti-police, pro-criminal, and overwhelmingly elected with George Soros' money, and they're a major cause of the violence we're seeing because they keep putting the violent criminals back on the street.
I'm not sure we need to bring George Soros into this. I was going to say you get the last word, Speaker.
He paid for it. I mean, why can't we discuss the fact that millions of dollars...
I agree with Melissa. George Soros doesn't need to be a part of this conversation.
Okay. So it's verboten.
All right, we're going to... Okay, we're going to move on. A historic day at the White House. We covered it from stem to stern.
So, as Gingrich said, it's verboten. You can't bring it up. And she said, well, his money has nothing to do with it. He didn't. He didn't pay for these prosecutors to get into their offices. Well, yeah, he did. It's part of his organization. So you just say because it didn't come out of his personal pocket. It went through his organizations, so you can't bring this up, right? So this is why Fox. These are Fox commentary. This is a Fox broadcast. These are pieces pulled out of it, right, to show what's going on. It shows that Fox is not in the can for Trump, right? Again, you have certain commentators. Mostly, if I see anything from Fox, and it gets. And they go into this kind of stuff. It's kind of like I don't even want to listen to them anymore. It's only just basically down to Tucker. I listen to Sean Hannity once in a while because he's very repetitive, right? And he's good. I like it, but I prefer Tucker's program much better. Tucker Carlson. The rest of it's just a lot of fluff, and you got to. Again, there's a couple on there that are good. All right. So that being said, now I want to also say that there is something else new I'd like to draw your attention to. Let me see. Bring this up. That's not really a good way of viewing it. Let's see if I can make that a little bit better. This is a new video hosting site. A competitor of YouTube. I just made an account. Dan Bongino now has gone into the video distribution business. Parler is not really for video distribution, right? Rumble is. He now has a financial interest in it. He just announced that today. I went and set up my own account. Now I uploaded just this one video, the one with Kim, right? Now, something interesting about this is it does allow for monetization of videos, which is a very big plus. Very much would help me out get some the video, since I've been demonetized since I put up that video clip of Rotten David Steele saying pedophilia is just child love. And I said, that's the 8 seconds, and those are the only seconds you need to know about who Rotten David Steele is. It's actually Robert, but I always change his name to Rotten David Steele. I had a middle of the road opinion about him until he started doing these International Tribunal for Natural Justice, hearings that with all these officials wearing religious garb and all conducting these hearings and saying how bad this satanic stuff is, but the pedophilia is just a different thing. It's not so bad, right? It's not the pedophilia. It's just child love. That's the angle that they were trying to push, and they said it in only those 8 seconds. The rest of it was all about how bad. So you've got like 99.9999% of everything that he's talking about is super bad. He slips in this little tiny phrase to basically set the tone against those others. We can really come down hard on these over here, the ones that are eating children. But the others, well, that's just a mental disorder. It's another lifestyle. It is anything other than something that should be punished severely, right? To give them, the people in power around the world that have been blackmailed, some sort of cushion against being, strung up. All right. So anyway, sorry to get down that road, but since I was demonetized at that point, I was looking for how do I go about monetizing the videos and building. So this channel, not only does it allow you to monetize on their site, they allow you to monetize off of YouTube. I really don't know how they do that, but I noticed that they actually, when I selected the video from YouTube link about the video I was uploading, that they actually uploaded a second video on my YouTube of the same one that I just uploaded here. That's very interesting. That means I don't have to do it. And they're monetizing it. So this will be something, I'm just checking into it. I'll put down the link below for this new video service. The BitChute is down below. I have videos up there on BitChute that I couldn't post here because I knew they would be taken down. But this site also may be a good one to look at, especially since they're allowing monetization right off the bat, and you can do that. So very big play being made right here, especially if it's also managing what you have up on YouTube, and they're monetizing it. Not YouTube, but they are. Very interesting. So that being said, so let me. So again, since I already did, this will be a short one, but let's see if there's anything in the chat room. Let's see, we only have a few eyes. Hello, Aunt B. Hello, Michelle. Hello, Lisa. Thank you all for joining in. We have 8 viewers, 67 playback so far for today. But again, this is my second broadcast. I just wanted to make sure to get that out there about Ruth Bader Ginsburg and seeing where things are going to go. It's going to get heated up as we keep going here on this before the election. A lot of stuff's going to be happening every single day. It's a battle, and we just have to be ready. Join the assemblies. Please watch the faux meeting example we put up. Join the real meetings. Come in and select your state into the LifeForce app, and you can join one of the groups there. It's a way of initially getting together. We also have a Telegram group as well. and we're doing sharing of information back and forth, and a lot of conversation goes on. So we're there to help organize people across the country and across the world. But really, the United States is going to be what leads the world into peace and prosperity. So let's get the foundation there established. There has never been a time in my life, or even my parents' or my grandparents' lives, like this time, where we actually have the opportunity to take back control over our destiny through the government, for us to stand up, because we have someone in place in the lead, Trump, that's changing things. And he's got 193 countries backing him on the fight against the invisible enemy, not the China virus, but the deep state cabal lumadonkeys that have been ruling. We're now transforming the whole planet. This is the time. There have been many people that have tried to form assemblies and try to do things, but they couldn't get past square one because they just were ignored. Right? Go away. Go get a sign and protest in front of the building like we told you how to do it. Don't follow that Constitution. But now it's different. And also there's enough information that are from all the people who have done things over the years, the true patriots that have taken on these things, and even those that have been thrown in jail for their beliefs on how the system actually works. They get out and they hold them financially responsible, and they get paid. They've gotten money out of the system using, as it is the official, right, UCC mercantile system, right? This is this system can be used to make it operate in the correct fashion, but we have to assemble. And now this is the time. Join your assemblies. Go ahead and get active. Do something. We're filing affidavits, right, and putting monetary damages on the people that are doing things against our Constitution. They can't do it. When they do, there is a remedy. This is the remedy. It is the assembly. Join it and take action and do it now. Okay. All right. Again, this will be the short one since we already did one broadcast already, and I had another meeting in between. And I'm going to take a break. But until tomorrow, I wish you all to have a